The world's a dangerous place. Get the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. A laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way.
Tom's given the crew this holiday weekend off. We'll be back live next week. But for now, please enjoy this reloaded edition of Gun Talk. Now, here's Tom.
All right, back with you. Hour 3 of Gun Talk. Glad that you could be with us. Lots of stuff going on. If you're new to Gun Talk, welcome. If you know about us, share the enjoyment. Tell your friends about it. Bring them into this fun thing that we get to do at least once a week. If you have not participated in the after show or the podcast we do, by all means, you need to get on board with that, because we do a lot of other shows, and we have a thing called the after show where it's only available online, and you can download the shows. Honestly, the easiest way to get it is with our new smartphone app, Gundealio. It's GUNDEALIO, Gundealio. And you go to gundealio.com. It'll tell you all about it, or you can just go to the App Store or Google Play. All right, you saw the story, or you may have heard me be talking about it. A neighborhood near to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There's a woman there had a restraining order out against, I believe it was her husband. Once again, a restraining order didn't help. He broke into her home, savagely, brutally beat her to death with a baseball bat. Our next guest decided, well, maybe there's something he can do about it. Precision Firearms is a shooting range, gun store in Baton Rouge. Wade Duty is the owner. He's also a gun rights activist. I've worked with Wade on other projects there. Wade, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I am great. We appreciate all that you do to help us out in the area and all that you do for gun rights in Louisiana. You are a major factor there. What was it about this story that flipped a switch for you?
It really combined with an older story going back about 3 years ago. I don't know if you'll recall the home invasion in Beauregard town. A woman named Alexandra Engler and her daughter were shot by a burglar in the morning while they were getting ready for the daughter to go to school. And between that and Ms. Johnson's situation, I strongly subscribe to the belief that you should be secure in your own home. And just looking at those two instances together, we decided that maybe there was a response that we could provide that would be of use to women in similar situations when they're in their own home.
You have a really good shooting range, an indoor shooting range, and a gun store, and you have firearms instructors there who teach concealed carry. And so what was the offer you put out, and how did you let people know about it?
We actually just casually mentioned it while I was being interviewed for a little segment on the Geismar murder. And I just made the offhand comment to the reporter. I said, I think we're just going to have to do something here. We're going to put together a class for women with restraining orders, and we'll offer it for free, and we'll provide the guns and ammunition so that if that's an impediment for them getting this kind of training, we can help them over that hurdle too. So the reporter mentioned that on air, and within 40 hours, we had filled our class.
Well, I heard a story about you, like, showing up at work, or your workers showed up there, and there were women in the parking lot.
That's correct. The morning after the story aired, it aired at 6 p.m. in Baton Rouge. The morning after, we had either 4 or 5 women there with copies of their restraining order ready to register for the class.
That... I'm trying to contain myself, Wade, because I got to tell you, that speaks to me in a lot of different ways. And, of course, obviously you're doing such a great thing, but the fact that these women are sitting there saying, I know that I'm not safe. I know this guy wants to hurt me. I have the restraining order. But you know what the other thing it says is? They know that the restraining order is not protection.
Well, Well, I think you're touching on an excellent point there, and it also dovetails in with something that Sheriff Wiley said. I mean, you could sense his frustration in his interview. I just heard the frustration in your voice. I know I've experienced it since we started looking at this. You know, these are women positioned to need some help, and we're going to try and address that. But it is, you know, the story here is not that we're offering the class for free. That's not the story. The story is that there's unfortunately a need for it. So you're right. The restraining order, you know, as a lawyer, I absolutely encourage people to work the system, get every scrap of resources you can out of it. But you may find yourself in the situation of having to supplement that restraining order with a much more direct measure.
You know, one of the things that occurred to me, I was actually talking to my wife about this, and in Louisiana, when someone gets they take the class for the concealed carry permit, and then they put in the application for it. It can take 30, 60, 90 days to get that. But there's a fact here that I'm sure that comes through, and a lot of these women are going to learn this in the class, and is that in Louisiana, at least, you do not have to have a concealed carry permit to have a loaded firearm in your car or in your home. So other than actually carrying it on themselves, when they come out of this class, they'll have that information and a little bit of firearms training, and they can go ahead and start protecting themselves in most situations right off the bat.
Absolutely. The reason we, you know, like the class is because it covers a broader spectrum. But you're absolutely correct. To transport a firearm in your vehicle lawfully in Louisiana, you know, all the voodoo stories we hear about, it's got to be this, that. Absolutely untrue. Your vehicle is a constitutionally protected area, so no permit required for that, and absolutely the same situation for your home. So the class is useful for those who want to go on to pursue the permit, but it's also a good jumping off point for those people that are only going to limit their access to homes and vehicles.
How quickly, when will they start taking this class?
We're starting August 23rd, I believe. I might be wrong on the date on that. I'm sorry, it's 25th. We'll run it for 3 consecutive evenings because the state law requires a minimum of 9 hours of instruction, so we'll run 3 consecutive evenings.
Do you have more demand than you can handle in one class?
We did. Like I said, the class filled literally in 40 hours after the story aired, and we put it up on our Facebook page. We continued to get calls as late as this morning. So we're going to run another class. I want to get through this first one, see if there are things that we can supplement the existing curriculum with and make it even more relevant for these people. So, but I think you're going to see this become a standing feature for us at least several times a year.
Well, that's right. That was going to be my next question is that, okay, if this starts to become more of a demand and maybe you get to the point where you say, you know, maybe we can't offer this for free all the time, I'm guessing that there would be a lot of people who would say, hey, I'll help. I'll throw something in the kitty to help out on this.
That's the good news about the gun community. We've been approached by instructors, both my instructors in-house volunteered to do courses without pay. We're not going to do that for other considerations. If I'm going to run a class, I'm going to pay my instructors. But I'm teaching this one. But I've had other instructors who are not part of our staff who have volunteered. So, you know, we will continue to offer this course in this format for free as we're able to offer it. But, you know, it was encouraging to see the response from the gun community.
That is phenomenal. And, of course, as I say, for those who don't know, you have been involved in gun rights and helping with the legislature, with a lot of other things for a long time. The fact that you happen to have your law practice, but you also own a shooting range, makes for a pretty good combination for you.
I kind of backed into the political activism of this because I was at the Capitol already for other purposes, but working with both the NRA and the LSA was kind of a natural fit since I was already in the building, and it's been an interesting ride the last 8 years.
Louisiana Shooting Association, of course, our good friend Dan. I know you've worked with Dan for many years. If people want to know more about precision shooting, is there a website?
There is. Our website is precisionfirearm.com. And then, of course, like everybody else on the planet, we have a Facebook page, which we hopefully keep current, but that's probably the best means to get us. And of course, we like the telephone too. It's old fashioned, but it's reliable, and you actually get a live human being without a call tree. So if you got a question, just give us a call.
225-754-7264 is how you get there. And once again, it's Precision Firearm, singular, precisionfirearm.com, and you can take a look at the site. We've actually shot a number of segments for our television shows there at Precision, and we appreciate your hospitality there too, Wade.
Not a problem. Glad to support.
Absolutely. Well, look, I appreciate it very much, and you take care. Very good. Excellent news. Just wonderful stuff there. Tell you what, don't go far. 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. We'll be right back.
Has the ammo you run in your AR got you in a jam? High-performance guns need high-performance ammo. New Barnes Range AR ammo uses top-quality components to ensure your gun runs smooth. It's loaded with light-for-caliber jacketed zinc core bullets to maximize speed in 5.56 and 300 blackout. Barnes Range AR ammo. It's fast, it's flat, it's accurate, and it's easy on steel. BarnesBullets.com.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now GUNTALK presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGuntalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGuntalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGuntalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGuntalk.com. That's ShopGuntalk.com.
What's the best self-defense gun? It's the one you have with you. The Taurus Curve is the most comfortable gun you can carry, so you will have it with you. It actually curves to fit your body. Ultra comfortable, snag-free, made in the USA. Built in light and laser. 10.2 ounces of .380 firepower. Double action only. The world's first and only curved firearm. Details at TaurusUSA.com.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
Back with you, 866-TALK-GUN. Let's go straight to the phones. Line 2, Harold is with us out of Oklahoma. Hello, Harold. You're on Gun Talk.
Yeah, Tom, I'm listening to you, and I was going to give you a report. 2 weeks ago, I called you. I'm going to talk kind of fast, and so you take up no time. We had 35 range officers to show up on Friday, and we had 98 shooters on Saturday. And it's a 6-mile gun run, 3 miles one way and 3 miles back. And they had entry of about 7 targets to every section to land there. But it wasn't a gun run, it was a gun walk. And some of them was passing out from the heat. And the ticks and bugs are so bad. And it's all done as a stopwatch, 3 minutes to shoot, a pistol and a rifle. And, and they had a barbed wire crawl up a gravel road uphill. And last year, that barbed wire crawl was in the middle of a red ant den. And the next show we're going to have will be January the 8th, after all hunting season closed. And we had a good turnout and had wild hog barbecue concert, and a lot of people camped out here on our facilities.
Sounds like a heck of a deal. Now, where is this?
Pawnee, Oklahoma, the home of Pawnee Bill and Dick Tracy.
Okay, Harold. Look, I appreciate that ratings report. Good stuff. Line 3, Jason's with us out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Hey, Jason.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
I had a couple questions about gun registration. I live in Texas, so there's no registration, but I guess my question is, for concealed carry, you have to go through a program, correct?
That is correct.
And wouldn't the government have those people's information just like registration?
Well, the state would have the information on those who have concealed carry permits. They would have your information on you, but not on your guns. They wouldn't have any information on your firearms.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that would be a good place for the government to start. I mean, if they were going to go house to house to take guns away, if they ever decided to do that, wouldn't that be? All right,
let me ask you. Let me ask you a question, because I see where we're going here. I've been down this road before. Okay. Do you think that you're not on a list now? Have you ever bought a gun from a gun store?
No, most of mine are all family owned.
Okay. Have you ever bought a gun from a gun store?
No, sir.
Never. Okay.
And I don't have concealed carry either, but I do have sidearm.
Okay. So do you carry openly?
No, you have to have a concealed carry license to carry open in Texas, don't you?
Okay, that's true. So you're carrying without a permit, so you're carrying illegally, is that right?
No, it's legal to carry in your vehicle, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. If you're carrying, all the time. You see where I'm going with. The point is, yes, people say, well, gee, isn't that registration? And it's not registration to have a concealed carry permit. Now, if you buy a suppressor or an NFA item, that in fact is registration with the federal government. It's horrible, but it's there. We're trying to get some of it undone, particularly on the suppressor side. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to pay a tax to exercise your Second Amendment rights. But I get it. People say, well, gee, I'm not going to do that, or that's registration. And to which I say, look, if you're really worried about somebody doing door-to-door searches and taking guns, if it gets to that point, it's over. It's all over at that point. So I guess, Jason, my question for you is, what are you doing to make sure that that doesn't happen? What groups do you belong to? Who do you donate money to? What are you active in that helps prevent that from happening?
You know what I'm saying? Like National Rifle Association, wouldn't those people be one of the first people to go to those doors to look for weapons?
I guess you're probably, Jason, you're probably talking when I'm talking. When you do that, you can't hear me. So here's my question to you. What groups do you belong to, and who do you give money to make sure that they don't have door-to-door confiscation?
Yeah, I don't give money to anybody.
So you just sit on the sideline and worry about it, but you don't do anything to keep it from happening.
Yeah, I don't want to be on a list.
So you're willing to let the rest of us pull the wagon while your butt is sitting in it, and we're having to drag you along and take care of you.
Do what?
Yeah, do what is right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Clueless. I'm sorry. I have absolutely no patience for that. I don't want to be on a list, so I'm not going to get involved in gun rights. I don't want anybody to know I'm here. Are you serious? You're not willing to fight the fight. You won't get involved, but you'll bitch about everybody else who's actually working. You'll complain about the NRA or any other group that's out there, but you won't join it. You won't get involved. You won't help pull the wagon. Of course, we're pulling the wagon and you're sitting in it because all gun owners are sitting in this wagon, and we're pulling this wagon to try to take care of gun rights. Seriously? Do you not see a problem with this? I have no patience for that. You're either helping us or you're hurting us. If you're sitting on the sideline and you're not involved, you're hurting us. My heavenly days. Here's a question for you. What do you say? Help me out. What do you say to someone who says, no, I don't give any money to anybody. I don't belong to any gun rights groups. I don't do anything. But I sure am going to talk about, well, they're going to come along and take our guns. Trust me, people, if we ever get the call where the police officers, the military is going door to door to take up guns, we've lost the fight, we've lost the battle, we've lost the war. And if you think you're going to stand in the doorway and shoot it out, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Our goal here is to prevent it from getting to that point. Would that not be better? We talk all the time about avoiding a confrontation, avoiding a fight. The best way to win a gunfight is to never get into one, right? From personal defense standpoint, awareness, situational awareness, prevention, avoidance, all of that. Well, how that works on a gun rights basis is getting into the fight today. And to sit there and say, no, I don't belong to any groups, I don't want to be on anybody's list. Wow. I know that that's out there, but I don't often come face to face with it. I don't often hear people simply just stand up and say, I'm not going to help. Really? I'm not going to help. You guys got this. And I'll take advantage of it, and I'll get the benefit of everything that you do. I'm happy to take the benefits of all the work done by the NRA, the Second Amendment Foundation, and all these other groups. I'm happy to reap the rewards of all the money that other people have spent on this to fight this fight, and to go to court, and to go to the Supreme Court and do all that, but I'm not going to get involved. I'm going to sit on the sidelines. I'm going to let you guys pull the wagon, and I'm going to climb up in the wagon and lend my weight to it. So you got to pull me around now. Got no patience for it. Got no use for it. Either grab something, grab a rope and start pulling, grab the yoke and start pulling the wagon, or get out of the way. Just, if you got any thoughts on this, help me out. Holy cow.
Now broadcasting on more than 200 great radio stations across America. We're taking the weekend off, so welcome back to this reloaded version of Gun Talk.
866-825-5486, but honestly, it's a lot easier if you just dial 1 Tom Talk Gun. That'll get you in here. You can also shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. And don't forget Twitter. I'm at Gun Talk over there. You can follow me. We have lots of folks over there, 20,000 plus. So it's a pretty good gathering of gun folks on Twitter. 866-TALK-GUN. Jerome's calling on line 3. He's in Layton, Utah. Hey, Jerome. So what you think?
Well, I'll tell you what. I heard that fella, and I totally agree with you. First off, I'm a member of 3 outfits, NRA. I also give the NRA Foundation where I work, SAF, and since they're co-located now, JPFO.
Aha, Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership. Yeah, absolutely.
Betcha. Now, my take on it is this. If enough people join enough organizations, those Gomers are going to have such a long list.
I see where you're going. I see where you're going. I like it. It would be here's the deal. If they only have to just reduce it to the absurd, if they only have to go after 1,000 people, that's easy. If they have to go after 1 million people, it's harder. If they have to go after 50 million people, it's impossible. So, yeah, I see where you're going, Jerome. I like it. Let's get everybody on every list you can. Look, we've got 110 million gun owners now. Does anybody seriously think we're going to do a door-to-door search for guns now? Now, I understand there are a lot of steps along the way where they can require you to turn in guns, they can ban guns. And look, we got a lot of gun banners out there in public office and people who want public office. Heck, Donald Trump was a gun banner. He says he's not now, but he was all in favor of banning semi-automatic rifles some years ago. I would love to be able to ask him how he made the move from gun banner to not gun banner, to gun banner, from gun banner to gun rights supporter. What was the transition? How did that happen? I wish we had the opportunity to ask him. Jerome, by the way, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I know his kids hunt. I know a lot of people who hunt who are gun banners. There are a lot of people who hunt who are gun banners. So, I mean, the fact that somebody hunts, I'm sorry, I'm not impressed. I know a lot of cops who are gun banners. I know a lot of military Colin Powell said, hey, if you want an AR-15, join the Marines, join the military. He was in favor of gun bans. Get a fair amount of condescension sometimes, particularly from flag officer rank folks. Talk to Jeff. He's on line 2 in Statesboro, Georgia. Hey, Jeff, talk to me.
Howdy. Well, I wanted to relate an opportunity that I had to meet Colonel Jeff Cooper years ago. A friend of mine, a university professor, had gone over to Columbia, South Carolina to participate in a birthday celebration for him. Had an opportunity to meet his daughter, Lindy, and shot her scout rifle that had just come back from Africa on safari.
Okay. Yeah.
While we were there, we made arrangements for Colonel Cooper and one of his compatriots to come and teach the initial, I think it's week-long gun sight course at one of our nearby ranges. And if you'll remember, this was right before the Atlanta Olympics, and that was the time when the colonel was involved in selling gun sight. There was some controversy, maybe some legal issues between him and Richard G., which I'm not going to get into. Nevertheless,
right.
They ended up having to cancel because of that issue. But the colonel could not come because that would, of course, have, created more issues. But he did have Herschel Davis come.
Aren't you lucky?
Yes. You know who he is, right? Mr. Handlebar Mustache's Navy SEAL Master Chief.
Command Master Chief of the SEALs, also Corporate Master Chief at Blackwater, Handlebar Mustache, been there, done that guy. Absolutely.
Yep. He told us about the time that he actually led the team that cleared Manuel Noriega's mansion when we invaded Panama. But the point that I was trying to make is that these guys had made a handshake agreement with us. And even though the colonel was not able to come, they did the honorable thing, the nearest honorable thing they could do, and that was to have Herschel come down and teach that initial course. Of course, unfortunately, we couldn't get certified because
it wasn't a gun sight class,
Right.
I understand. But look, you got the training from Herschel Davis, and it doesn't get any better than getting a course from Herschel Davis. I mean, holy cow. I mean, seriously, we're talking about a guy who really has been there, done that, and trained those who do exactly the same thing. I appreciate the call, sir. We've got to scoot to the break here. When we come back, we'll still have room for you if you'd like to join us. 866-TALK-GUN. Got a gun you want to tell us about? Maybe an optic. We don't get many range reports on optics or ammo or accessories. Would love to get that. Red dot, laser, scope. What have you been shooting? 866-TALK-GUN.
There's a rise in home invasions in America, and you need to be ready. Ready to protect yourself and your family. The Bedside Backup from Crossbreed Holsters keeps your gun at your bedside, ready to go. It also folds flat for easy storage and travel. Take it with you and use with any hotel bed. To see more, go to crossbreedholsters.com. That's crossbreedholsters.com. The Bedside Backup is not a child safety device.
Hi, this is Tom Gresham from Gun Talk. America is losing critical wildlife habitat at a rate of 1 football field every hour. It's happening on the Louisiana coast, but it's critical to all sportsmen and conservationists. These precious wetlands provide winter habitat for more than 10 million ducks and geese annually, waterfowl that migrate north through dozens of states. Don't shrug it off. Get involved. You can help. Visit vanishingparadise.org.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit sigsauer.com today.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you know you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Battle Group. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
When it's all on the line, you can count on Trijicon Optics. Earning its reputation in combat and on hunts in all corners of the world, Trijicon comes through. The new AccuPower rifle scopes feature battery-powered illuminated reticles, variable power, adjustable brightness, plus they're waterproof. The years of waiting, the dollars spent, your hunt of a lifetime comes down to a single moment. Get Trijicon quality. Trijicon.com. Trijicon.com.
All right, back with you. 866-TALK-GUN. 866-825-5486. Line 4, Ken's with us out of Groveland, California. Ken, what's your question here?
Hey, I was just wondering if anyone's heard any more news about that woman who was traveling through New Jersey, and she was pulled over for a traffic violation, and he asked her if she had a handgun, and he arrested her because she had a concealed carry permit from another state. Do you recall that?
Not only do I recall it, I was very involved in getting her out of jail.
Right on. You're my hero. I just wondered what has happened since then.
Okay, let me give the cliff notes on this. Her name was Shanine Allen. She was driving into New Jersey from Pennsylvania. She had a carry permit in Pennsylvania. Got pulled over for a improper lane change. Oh, really? Policeman, she notified the policeman. She says, hey, I've got my carry permit. I've got my gun here. Well, she didn't know it wasn't good in New Jersey. He arrests her, takes her to jail. She spent I think several months, if I remember right, in jail. Chris Christie refused, the prosecutor refused to allow her to have pretrial intervention. Unbelievable. I mean, it should be that to get pretrial intervention, keep her out of jail. Nope, they're not going to do that one. So I got involved, and I said, hey, let's put up some billboards, and let's shame the district attorney in here. And I kicked $1,000 in to start the ball rolling. Then Gun Talk listeners got involved. We put up multiple billboards, and about 4 days after the billboards went up, they said, oh, we've rethought this whole thing. So they allowed her to go into pretrial intervention, but even better than that, let's see, when did this happen? In April, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie pardoned her completely, so got it off of her record entirely. But of course, they were denying her pretrial intervention at the same time that they gave pretrial intervention to Ray Rice after he was videotaped beating his wife and knocking her unconscious. So that's what's going on. Yes, Shanine Allen, she's gotten a full pardon, thank goodness. But the problem is in New Jersey, this is still happening. It's happening all the time. People are being arrested. They're thrown in jail for these quote-unquote crimes. Something's got to happen, and I don't know. I don't even want to get started talking about Chris Christie. We're going to leave that one alone for right now. I appreciate the call, sir. Ken, let's see. No, we're going to go to line 1, Matthew, Columbus, Georgia. Hey, Matthew.
Yes. Hey, Tom. How are you?
I am good. You been to the new CMP range?
Yes, sir. I wanted to call and brag about that. I got to go to see the Civilian Marksmanship Program range in Talladega. Mm-hmm. It's right behind the Supermotor Speedway. And
it's supposed to be state-of-the-art.
Oh, it's awesome, Tom. There's electronic targets, so you don't have to go down and look at your target. You got a screen right there at your bench. And I was a little intimidated, but I shot out to 600 yards, and it was 4 inches high from the bullseye. So, you know, and it really helps when you have a nice scope like a Nikon. I've got a Nikon with a BDC reticle, and I put all the data into the ballistic app, and it told me where to go, and boom, there you go. So
it's like cheating, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just calling in I was intimidated, you know, to shoot that long range, but if you got a, you know, accurate rifle and a good scope, you know, come out and, you know, you're good. You're going to be good to go.
And it's fun. Yeah, the new Civilian Marksmanship Program range is in Talladega, Alabama, and it is truly state-of-the-art. Like Matthew's saying, you're shooting and you don't have to go down range. You've got a camera or a scoring system and a screen right next to you. You can see where your hits are. It's just very cool. We actually had wanted to. It didn't open quite in time for us to get there this year, but we wanted to take the video crew from GUNTALK television down there, and I think we'll be able to try to get that done this coming year for next season of GUNTALK. We'll do a whole show on that. We actually want to do a show on advanced shooting ranges. There's some really cool ones in the Miami area. There's one called Nexus. If you're down there, try to get to that one. It is cool. When you walk in, it's like walking into an Apple store, but it's a gun store shooting range. Fairly impressive. Line 3, Lee's with us out of Kentucky. Hello, Lee.
Hi, Tom. If guns get outlawed and confiscated and somebody manages to hold on to them, how's he going to use them?
Can't.
It's a home invader. What happens? The neighbors call
If guns are completely outlawed and they are largely confiscated, you're right. You couldn't use it. It's like people say, well, I'm going to bury my guns. Okay, well, if you bury them, you can't use them either. So they've got them if you bury them in the backyard. Well, then if they confiscate them, I'll have my guns. Okay, great. What are you going to do with them? You can't go to the range with them. You can't shoot them. You can't buy ammo for them. I mean, the whole idea is ridiculous on the face of it. You have to fight this fight now so you don't get to that place. You don't let it get to that point. That's the whole idea, because there are 1,000 steps that have to happen before we get there, and our goal is to not let them take the next step to get us toward that. You'll notice that the gun banners always say, well, you know, yes, we got this new gun control law passed, and then they say, we don't. But of course, it's not really going to reduce crime, but and I love this, it's a good first step. You've heard me say it, you know, if you got 20,000 gun laws, how is this a first step? We've got 20,000 steps already. And if this bill, law, gun control effort, ban is not what you're looking for, what is the goal? What is it that we are stepping toward? They do not like to talk about that, do they? Every once in a while they'll let it go and let it out there. Let's see, we got time to get Jimmy in here before the break? No, we do not. Okay, Jimmy, don't go anywhere. We're going to get to you. Leland, we're going to get to you, so don't go anywhere. Hang in there. We'll get there. Also, we have room for you if you'd like to join us. We've got some discussions about guns for hogs, also how to donate to gun groups, and would love to know, what are you shooting, or have you not been shooting because it's too darn hot in the summer? Do you take a break during the summer? And if so, how are you going to get back out there? What are you going to take when you go back out to the range? Also, of course, don't forget we have the after show coming up. You can still get in. We'll get you into the after show. Just call us, 866-TALK-GUN. If you've never listened to the after show, you're missing something, because it's crazy, wild and woolly. We got all of us in the studio get together and we share stories and tell jokes and give each other a hard time, and none of it makes any sense. Well, that's not really that much different from the regular show, I guess, but it's the after show and it's a bunch of fun. 866-TALK-GUN. Give us a holler.
today's radio show is winding down. If you're on hold, stay there. Tom will pick your call up during the Gun Talk After Show. It's an on-topic, off-topic free-for-all coming up right after today's broadcast.
So why do you need to get involved? Why do we need to speak out? Why do we need to be evangelists for safe, responsible, lawful gun use? Well, here's why. A brand new Pew Research poll taken between July 14 and 20 among 2,000 adults, 85% of Americans, listen to this, 85% of Americans support expanded background checks, more government intervention into your gun rights. That includes 88% of Democrats and 79% of Republicans. Something else that came out of this thing, 70% of Democrats support banning so-called assault weapons. 70% of Democrats want a gun ban. But listen to this. 48% of identified Republicans favor a gun ban. 85% of Democrats want a federal database tracking gun sales. Okay, you can say, well, that's Democrats, right? They want a federal database of gun owners. But 55% of Republicans favor the idea of a federal database to track gun sales and gun owners. So 48% of Republicans favor a ban on the most popular firearms being made and sold. That's why you need to speak out. That's why you need to be involved. That's why you need to take every opportunity to be the good guy, the good gal, to speak about gun rights and gun safety and responsibility and the legality and how it all works and the things that they don't know. Because you know why they have these opinions is because that's what they're hearing on the media. And you have to be the anti-media. You have to be the voice that's always out there. And you say, well, my voice is just my voice. Yeah, great. But imagine you're in a huge theater and it's pitch dark and you light one candle. It's not much. But what if everybody in there lights a candle? It lights up the whole place. Same thing here. Your voice may not sound like much, but you get all of our voices together and it's deafening. You have to be involved. We all have to be involved. Almost half the Republicans want a gun ban. 85% of Democrats want this. It goes on. There's a lot of news here that's not good. I'm just saying, you got to make this part of who you are and what you do in your life. Make it an important part of it. It's how it works, okay? Jimmy's in Reno on line 2. Hey, Jimmy, we got about a minute. Dive in, please.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
I wanted to talk. My name is Jimmy. I'm calling from Reno, and I wanted to let you know that your listeners know that there's an opportunity to donate when they purchase on Amazon.com. If you purchase through smile.amazon.com and select NRA Foundation or Gun Owners Foundation, Amazon will donate 0.5% of the sale to that organization.
So you can designate which gun rights group you want the donation to go to when you do this Amazon Smile donation thing. And it can be the NRA or other groups there. It's a great idea, Jimmy, and I appreciate that. It's and people can look that up, the Amazon Smile program. Thank you for the heads up on that. All right, Leland, John, Michael, don't go anywhere. We're going to drag you into the after show. You are in for a treat and a half. If you've not listened to the after show before, well, shame on you. You're missing out on a lot of fun stuff. It's never been easier. If you get your Gun Dealio app, it will let you listen to the after show. It'll be right there on your smartphone. So, by the way, it's free. Just go grab the app for your Android or your iPhone. Good to go. In the meantime, get out and do a little shooting. Take a friend with you. Enjoy it. Get involved in gun rights. You will enrich in your life as you reach out and try to help others with this. We need the help. Clearly, we need the help. When we've got more than half the people in the country want to ban our guns. Simple as that. Go out and do some shooting. Be safe. Remember, check your 6.